Hey, ladies, how are you? I know most of you are at work and other things, and that's fine. I just wanted to do this update before my husband confiscates my laptop. I made it home today from the hospital. I've been in the hospital since 2 days ago. Well, I was in the hospital for 2 nights, 1 day. Um, I really, I lied. I thought it was doing it for later, but I went to the hospital Monday after I had posted it. I went to the hospital. Um, Pretty much what happened in the shortest version is I was asleep on the couch. My husband woke me up in order for me to get to bed, and I thought I was peeing on myself because I had been asleep for quite a while. And so I ran to the bathroom, and it's a pool of blood. And I was like in shock and just staring at it, like, and I'm like, well, maybe I spilled my juice. Um, Hi guys. Um, I'm like, maybe I spilled my juice in my lap, something. I was drinking Minute Maid before I had fell asleep on the couch. So I was like, and then I got some tissue and I wiped, and sure enough, it was just blood. And I went to sit, and this big clot just came out, which I thought was tissue, but it all just came out. And I kind of stood there for like 4 minutes, and then I started screaming my husband's name. He came running. He's looking and I'm looking, and he's like, "Let's go." So I literally had like five different outfits on. I had on, he put me on the dress that I had in my last video, and I had some flower pants and some other things. It was just like so rough, but we got to the hospital. We live about 30 minutes from the hospital. We got to the hospital for about 12 minutes. I got there. They asked me a ton of questions. I went through the same rude things I went through before of, oh, it's IVF. How is it IVF? Are you sure it's IVF? I went through all that bullshit, but I was so tremendously calm. And all I know is my husband's very soft spoken, and he just goes, "My wife is bleeding. Something came out of her. She's 9 weeks pregnant with twins. Can you please make sure my wife is okay?" So it's like all the rudeness stopped. Everybody stopped, and the doctor came in. They wanted to do a pelvic. That upset me because I was like, why would you do a pelvic? Why would you want to go in and open anything up and look in there when really all you need to do is give me an ultrasound and tell me that they're there? So I let her do what she was going to do. She did the pelvic. She said, your cervix is closed. So she was like, I don't know what you saw, but your cervix is closed. So that was our first piece of relief. And then I went down to the ultrasound, and the lady in the ultrasound was pregnant herself. And I was in tears. Like, my husband kept trying to console me. They wouldn't let him go with me. Um, and, you know, she's doing everything she needs to do. And I'm like, I know you're not supposed to tell me anything, but are they okay? And she's like, I can't say anything. And I'm like, I understand. But what she did do, she turned on audio, and I can hear a heartbeat. So I was like, okay, at least one of them is okay. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. At least one of them is okay. Now I'm even more hysterical because I can't go upstairs and tell my husband because he's just going to start talking, asking 1,000 questions, so I can't say anything. So after like 4 hours of waiting for tests and everything, we got my test results back, and yeah, I had to take a screenshot of it because my doctor, who I had to see before they could release me, took all my paperwork. And of course, it's not my iPhone, so I don't know how to really work it. Um, my estrogen level was fine, if I can remember correctly. My estrogen level was fine. My progesterone level was fine. Um, there we go. The guy comes back, and I don't know how I didn't curse him out, but he comes back and he goes, "You're definitely pregnant." And I'm just staring at him like, I just want to stab you in the face. And he goes, "You're come and take my phone. I only took a picture of one thing. But my HCG level, my betas were 159,000 something. So I'm like, I just told you I was 9 weeks pregnant. So I think I know that I'm fucking pregnant. But in the midst of everything, they were like, okay, well, we have to keep you because there's so much blood. It's like you just gave birth. That's how much blood just kept running and trickling down and trickling out. And so I was like, okay, but are they okay? So that's why I grabbed the phone. Um, Baby A heartbeat was 166 beats per minute and is measuring 2.6 centimeters. And baby B heartbeat was 176 beats per minute, measuring at 2.64 centimeters. And what they didn't tell me then, but I got before I left, was that um, I have a subchorionic hemorrhage behind baby A. So baby A was always the strongest baby as far as it always had um, the highest heartbeat. It always has a largest size. So according to what my doctor is telling me is that the hemorrhage or the tear is behind baby A, and that all else fails that I would lose baby A. I don't want to lose either baby. I was devastated at the top. I lost one baby in the toilet that I didn't even flush the toilet. I just left just the way it was, just closed my bathroom door. But once they got the bleeding under control and everything, it took until yesterday evening. I was like, I still take progesterone, I still take estrogen. And I'm like, I need them. So I was going to send my husband home to go get them. But they called the fertility clinic and verified the prescription. And it was like within 20 minutes of them inserting the progesterone, my bleeding stopped. Like it started to, you could tell it was like starting to clot, or it was at the end because it went from like deep, pure blood red to like chocolate pudding, like sandy chocolate pudding. So that like sent alarm bells off in their head, and they were like, okay, she stopped bleeding as soon as she got the progesterone. And then when I got the estrogen, and I took the estrogen, I took the pill, not the patch. Within an hour of that, I had nothing. Like I could go to the bathroom, there was nothing. Like no sandy pudding, no nothing. So my doctor came down, and he was like, we can't stop what potentially could happen. We can't stop and prevent a miscarriage if that's what's going to happen. He said the good thing is that one baby would be affected, not both babies. And he said because you're at 9 weeks, he said it can either reabsorb into your body or it'll just stop developing, pretty much come out when you have baby B. I don't want to hear that. So I'm sitting in hospital yesterday, I'm Googling everything. I'm on my computer going back and forth with everything. And I read that even though nothing can stop it from happening, taking your progesterone and taking the estrogen thins out, it does so. It's something like it thins out the blood and it helps the hemorrhage to heal. And that you have to take it in a steady dose. So they were weaning me off of my progesterone and off of um, my husband harassing me. Hello. I'm sorry, ladies. I didn't even know he left out of the house. He just, oh, are you okay? Everything okay? You sound like you're crying. I told him I was trying to eat this nasty ass salad. I'm sorry, guys. The biggest thing is, and I was telling him as well, is that the doctor said that he didn't think that taking anything would help anything. But going online and researching IVF babies and whether it was a frozen or a fresh embryo, it happens in 60% of the cases. And continuing the estrogen and the progesterone therapy helps because the progesterone helps to thicken the lining even more than it was. That way, if you did have blood loss, you're not losing too much that would create that would make the placenta detach completely from the wall. That's the biggest thing you don't want to happen. And something in the estrogen helps to coagulate the blood and thicken it. So that was like the biggest thing that we had going on, and that was going on. So I ordered more estrogen. I'm not on my Blue Cross Blue Shield anymore because I don't work anymore. But somehow, some way, they gave me a coupon code and some other things. So I'm only going to pay $50 for my estrogen, and it's going to be a 90-day supply, and I'm going to get 90 days of progesterone. Are these ones? Hold on one second. That's a flash. These, um, which reminds you of monostat pills for yeast infection. So I have those going on. So I was planning to go back to work um, and find a nice sit-down job, and my doctor just, yeah, actively positively not going to happen. Not a slim chance in hell. I am on bed rest for my entire pregnancy. I cannot exercise. I cannot walk strenuously. I can go from the couch to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the kitchen. Um, I am, as of right now, I'm not even carrying my own stuff. I can't carry my own bag, the bowl of salad my husband brought in before I guess he left. Um, I can't do anything. I'm on full restriction. Um, as of right now, I had the progesterone about um, I had the progesterone about 4 hours ago. So it's originally I was taking it 4 times a day, and then they told me to take it 3 times, and I'm supposed to stop as of this Friday. So I'm going to do it twice a day, and if needed, I'll do 3 times a day because I have a 90-day supply of pick up, and then I have what's left of the 90-day supply, which is probably like a month and a half. I have that left as well. Um, I have had a lot of people say they are thirsty. They're thirsty. I've had the opposite. I have very wet mouth, but my mouth tastes like mouth, if that makes sense. It doesn't taste like anything, but it just tastes like mouth and it's not pleasant taste. So I find myself drinking a lot of juice. Um, started drinking a lot more water. It's very hard for me. What's hard to and what contributed to my nausea was when I eat something and I'm done eating, most of it is stuck in my braces, and that aftertaste and that um, flimsiness of things really makes me nauseous. So my husband got me a water pick, so I've been using that. I have lost a total of 15 pounds in this first 9 weeks of pregnancy. I started out at 236 pounds. I'm down to 223 point something pounds. So they're watching this very, very closely. They wanted to put me on Ensure, but I have lactose allergy, and there's not a lactose-free option. So they're looking for other options for me to use as of right now. I don't have pain um, or anything, and they said that's the greatest thing about this whole situation, that I didn't have any pain. Um, My mucus plug is still intact, so they're trying to figure out where that cloud, and it wasn't like this, it was more like a cloud in your hand, but it was enough like to throw the palm of your hand. They want to know where that cloud came from. Which they were thinking that because I was laying on the couch and my back was kind of like this, a little bit up, but my wasn't fully up. You know, I was kind of like slouched. I was kind of slouched. Um, they think everything was cooling there, and then it just, did that. Oh, thank you for everybody. I didn't even notice everybody tuned in. Hi guys, I'm so happy. And my doctor, Demisha, my doctor said the same thing. My doctor said there is a chance that, this could happen and could be happening whole pregnancy and the baby is fine. But he also wanted to give me that, um, he wanted to give me that realization that this could happen as well. Like I said, he wanted to give me that honesty that this is what could happen as well. So, you know, I have been following what they told me to do very, very, very closely. Um, all the way down to we went to the grocery store like 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and I didn't even push the cart. Like I did absolutely nothing, and so it like really opens my eyes that a lot can happen and a lot is going on. Um, I want to keep these babies in here as long as I can. Um, I'm thankful that they're here, and I'm thankful that I got this opportunity. It really opened my eyes. To me, everything was going so slow. It was like only 6 weeks, only 8 weeks now. I mean, my husband was like, "What's taking it so long?" And this really opened our eyes. Like, enjoy. In a minute. Enjoy every moment. Document every moment, whether it's for you guys or just for myself. Document everything and watching all this blood come out of me. And at that moment, feeling that I lost my baby, I gained so much more. And I have such a deeper understanding of things. And coming from the two losses last year, I really was taking it very, very, very hard. After this situation, my family not being warm about the pregnancy, my family not being supportive, all that, none of that, I don't care about any of that anymore. Like, I'm not worried about it. I just, like, keep these babies in there. I want to meet them, in January, and I just want to go from there. But I wanted to give you guys an update. Once again, I'm sorry my husband interrupted our conversation. I didn't know about the house, but I definitely will keep you guys posted. Whether it's a update each week or it's an update, once a month, I'll keep you posted. But as of right now, I can't do anything. I just kind of exist in this world, and I'm gonna keep cooking and being an easy bake oven. So with that, I love you guys. I respect you guys. Show respect to others, and just you never know when you'll meet someone. I appreciate you all, and bye.